The war in Ukraine isn't just a conflict between Ukraine and Russia. It's also a window into the complexities of global geopolitics, especially as Ukraine relies on military aid from allied nations. As early as 2022, Ukraine requested ATACMS missiles and other advanced systems. President Zelensky and other officials emphasized the need for long-range capabilities to disrupt Russian supply lines and logistics. Initially, the US resisted, concerned about escalating the conflict and the risk of Ukraine using these weapons to strike deep into Russian territory, potentially sparking a broader war. By mid-2023, however, the US began to reconsider. In October 2023, ATACMS missiles were included in a broader aid package, reflecting a major shift in US policy toward equipping Ukraine with more advanced weapons. From the start of Russia's full-scale invasion, Ukraine had been limited to using donated weapons strictly within its own borders, primarily for defense, not for striking back. That policy extended to long-range weapons. But as President Biden's administration nears its end, a significant change has occurred. Ukraine has now been authorized to use ATACMS inside Russian territory. Recent reports even suggest that Ukraine has already begun launching strikes within Russia. This raises critical questions. Why now? What impact could these strikes have on the battlefield? And will this escalation make the situation even worse? In today's episode, we'll unpack the reasons behind this policy shift and explore its potential consequences. But first, let's take a look at the latest incident. On the early morning of November 19th, Russia's Ministry of Defense reported that Ukraine launched 6 ATACMS missiles, targeting a military facility in the Bryansk region. According to the report, 5 of the missiles were intercepted by S-400 and Panzer air defense systems, while 1 was damaged. The fragments hit the technical area of the facility, sparking a fire that was quickly contained. The use of ATACMS against Russian territory has already sparked debate over whether Russia's air defenses are prepared for this new threat. This first reported strike offers a glimpse into the layered readiness of Russia's air defense systems. But it also raises more pressing questions. Why did the White House authorize this shift in Ukraine's use of long-range missiles? And what's the bigger strategy at play? Ukraine's need for deeper strike capabilities has grown as Russia continues to strengthen its positions. Allowing Ukraine to target critical infrastructure and supply lines deeper into Russian territory with ATACMS could disrupt military operations, weaken logistics, and force Russian defenses to spread thin. Adding to the urgency are reports of North Korean troops being deployed in Russia's Kursk region. This move suggests Moscow is seeking external reinforcements, raising the stakes on the battlefield, and potentially influencing the decision to provide Ukraine with these long-range missiles. For President Biden, this decision comes at a pivotal moment. As his presidency approaches its final stretch, authorizing ATACMS strikes inside Russia could solidify his administration's legacy as a strong supporter of Ukraine. However, it's a delicate balancing act, managing concerns about escalating the conflict while addressing calls to give Ukraine the tools it needs to succeed. The decision to supply Ukraine with ATACMS missiles has sparked intense reactions worldwide. Russia has strongly condemned the move, warning of unpredictable consequences and threatening retaliation. Moscow views the deployment as a direct provocation, pushing the conflict into more dangerous territory. Russian President Vladimir Putin has revised the country's nuclear doctrine, placing greater emphasis on nuclear deterrence. Under the updated provisions, any conventional attack on Russia, backed by a nuclear power, could be considered a combined act of aggression. This shift in policy adds a new layer of risk, suggesting the decision to deploy ATACMS may heighten tensions and potentially worsen the conflict. On the flip side, NATO allies have largely supported the decision, framing it as a justified response to Russia's ongoing aggression. However, some member nations remain cautious, concerned that this escalation could further destabilize the region. Now, let's circle back to the recent report of Ukraine's use of ATACMS missiles against Russian territory. According to the report, Russia managed to counter the attack using its advanced air defense systems, specifically the S-400 and Panzer SAM systems. These are among the most sophisticated air defense platforms in the world, capable of intercepting a wide range of aerial threats, from drones to ballistic missiles. However, the ATACMS poses a unique challenge. Its speed, precision, and ability to fly at low altitudes make it especially hard to detect and intercept, particularly in large numbers. The S-400, with its highly advanced integrated radar system, is designed to handle such threats. Its long-range detection and pinpoint accuracy allow it to track ballistic missiles from hundreds of kilometers away. Still, intercepting a fast-moving missile like the ATACMS requires several critical elements to align perfectly. BulgarianMilitary.com has highlighted that to successfully intercept an ATACMS with the S-400, a few key factors come into play. First, early detection is key. The S-400's radar must identify the launch almost immediately to calculate the missile's trajectory. Second, selecting the appropriate interceptor missile, likely the 48N6 or 40N6, is crucial to reaching the target in time. Lastly, the fire control system must predict not only the missile's path, but also any evasive maneuvers in its final phase. The U.S. decision to approve Ukraine's use of ATACMS marks a turning point in the conflict. But Russia's ability to intercept this recent attack highlights that the road ahead won't be straightforward. As the war continues to escalate, the implications of this decision will be felt on both sides. What's your take on the U.S. approval of ATACMS for Ukraine? And how do you think Russia might respond in the coming weeks? That's all for today. Thank you for watching.